Ready.
Okay, human sexuality was a class I took last semester here at Fullerton College. For most of you that have taken it will agree that it's a good class. For those that haven't taken it, I suggest you take it. It's pretty good. But along with learning Karma Sutra, sex, love, all that, came a lot of negatives like diseases and AIDS. About every month or so, we would have a guest speaker, and they would speak about topics related to the class, like homosexuality, sex addicts, and AIDS. But the guest speaker that caught my eye the most was an AIDS victim. Toward the end of his speech, he called a student up to the front of the class who was having unprotected sex. And as the student was explaining to him why he wasn't, he was taking 5 pills. And he was doing that to show the class what he has to take every day, like kind of like a birth control at the same time, just so he can know that if he doesn't take them physically, he's going to feel like weak, not be able to move, like all that stuff. And these are just some visuals of some of the pills. He has to take 5. These are pretty much all of them. Like George was saying, AIDS is a rapid growth within the college community, a lot more than compared to like in Hollywood at a gay bar. So it's most likely like us students like between the ages of 18 and 25 are most likely to get AIDS. This is why today I wanted to explain to you the physical effects of what AIDS could have on some of the victims. Some of the things about AIDS is that the physical effects would start happening before you even get AIDS. Once you become HIV positive, you already start getting some of the effects. Like Florian explains, you could get symptoms of lymphedema, weight loss, intermittent fever, malaise, fatigue, chronic diarrhea, anemia, so much more diseases. But I personally, just alone with the diarrhea and the fevers would be enough for me to like, like that's enough for me. And like that must like hurt to be crapping so much. But those are just like that's what happens to you before you even get AIDS. That's when you're just HIV positive. Like AIDS hasn't even kicked in. But one of the major like effects when you already like have AIDS and stuff, AIDS attacks the lungs, and that's like their main target. They attack the lungs because it affects the body, and like your immune system isn't as well, so it attacks the lungs, and because it inhabits the body's ability to defend itself from infections. So besides not having any immunity, if you get infections, that's going to hurt you even worse and like take you through a lot of pains or even weaken you really bad and like not give you like any strength. Now, there was reasons, but some of the physical effects on AIDS come from within, but some of them you can see them from the outside. Most AIDS victims, you can't really notice they have AIDS. That's why it's so highly dangerous, because you don't even know the person has AIDS. But George, the guest speaker, he used to weigh 180 pounds, and within 2 years he went down to 120 pounds. So he was just as skinny as me. I'm 140, but yeah, he lost a lot of weight. And the reason people lose so much weight is because the syndrome is called wasting. It's a wasting syndrome. It's related to AIDS, and it's defined as an involuntary loss of 10% of your body weight. So just to show you some people that really lost a lot of weight and are really weak with AIDS. Like, you see the diaper on him? That's because he's crapping on himself. And I don't mean that in a mean way or anything, but I mean, that's how you can know if you get a physical effect. In conclusion, speaking about the effects, the physical effects of AIDS on human bodies, I hope I have informed you enough to know that this is what you could possibly be going through if you get AIDS. So just be really careful and, us, all of us college students, don't get AIDS. Thank you.
All right, so Victor, what did you think?
I'm going to be honest, I thought it was pretty good, you know. Some of us have never, like, I've done this before, talked in front of people before, so I mean, for like a while, like, get some burnout guts, like, talk in front of people, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Better if I was, I don't know, if I was good as I would have done or something, I don't know. To be honest.
Well, what did you think of the visuals? How was it organized? Did you hear source citations? Any of those kinds of things?
I thought it was pretty good, but, pictures are good. I mean, I don't know.
All right. All right, Christian, I think that the attention device is a little problematic. You've got a good personal experience, but it goes on for almost 2 minutes before you finally get to the part where you're talking about the guy who came into the class and talked about the subject that you yourself are going to be talking about. So it's taken a long time to get to the topic. When you have your thesis statement, the thesis statement is very clearly stated and set up, but the contents is not very clearly set up, and I can't tell what the structure of the speech is. You had several ideas. I guess one, there's general symptoms, effects on the lungs, sometimes you can't tell what the symptoms are, and weight loss. I'm not sure if that's the structure, but those are the ideas that I got presented, and you're not setting them up for us to help us follow that information. I think that you need to do more of that. At best, it sounds like a topical method of organization, and the transitions between the points just seem to run together. In the first section, right after your introduction, you had a couple of citations. I think you may have been quoting the person that was in the sex education class that you were talking about, or human sexuality class that you were talking about. But after that, I don't get any citation of information. You need to work a little bit. It's not a big deal on this assignment because we're not focusing on presentation issues, but there were a couple of places where you had some pronunciation problems. The visual, I like the visual with all the pills to show you dramatically how much somebody might be faced with on a daily basis, and the image of the guy who's got the wasting syndrome is okay. It's a little undermined by the language. I mean, I appreciate the the vivid description of crapping yourself. However, you know, the context of the image, of course, when you repeat the phrase, it kind of has the opposite effect. Instead of drawing dramatic attention to the fact that here's a person who can barely function and is disappearing quickly, we're kind of reacting to the phraseology. And so that's a good example of a place where you need to be careful about your language. I think the presentation's a little bit lethargic. You need to have a little bit more energy. You've got a good voice, but you need to project more. All right, thank you.